please.
Time is 2:29 p.m. We're back on record.
Okay, ma'am. You were saying some things before concerning Zenaida Gonzalez, and again, you've said, volunteered a few times, that you don't believe that this person, Zenaida Gonzalez, was the one who was watching at any time.
Absolutely
Kaylee.
not.
And as you sit here today, you don't have any information that she had anything to do with watching Kaylee or the disappearance or anything else. Is that correct?
Correct. I mean, on the same assumption that, Casey gave me information regarding Zenaida Gonzalez. She told me her name was Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. She told me she's 25 years old. She also told the Sheriff's Department, it's in the Discovery, page 29, her description of Zenaida Gonzalez. That was her handwritten statement taken on July the 16th at 1:0500 a.m.
Let me focus in on that, and this is an important point. That description you're talking about, you know that your daughter gave information to the police. Is that right?
Yes, I was there when she wrote the statement. I was there when she told Yuri Melich. I was there when she told the other detectives.
And it's also your understanding that subsequent to when she was incarcerated, when she was first put in jail, that she actually had been interviewed by the police about this person, about this Zenaida Gonzalez. Is that right?
Yes, my understanding is also what I've read and I've seen on the Discovery, page 4 of the narrative from John Allen, that he pulled your Zenaida out of the David file. He went down and spoke to her, and then he showed Casey a picture of her, and Casey did not recognize her. John Allen also told me that there was only 2 Zenaida Gonzalez's in Orlando.
Let me go to that first point, because that obviously is an important point, because you understand that there was a photo lineup, and that your daughter identified her, didn't identify her, said, I've never seen her. That's your understanding, is that right? And that's what the police have told you?
That's what they told me, and that's what I read in the Discovery, the narrative.
Can we stop for a second? You guys are making it awfully hard on the court reporter. You're stepping on her, she's stepping on you. Can we
I'll slow down.
Go to a question and let her answer it fully?
I appreciate that. On this point that we're talking about, though, you have an understanding that there was, your daughter had been shown the photograph. I'm focusing on that now. You visited with your daughter in jail right around July 25th. You remember that?
That's correct.
Okay, let's take a look at that visitation.
Did anybody ask you to describe her and they did a composite drawing of her? Not once. And when they went and interviewed that girl down in Kissimmee, they never showed me a picture of her. They never searched. Okay, now they told us that you couldn't pull her out of a lineup. They're full of shit. I had told them multiple times, find a sketch artist, show me pictures, show me something. I can point her out to you.
Okay, now.
That's correct.
All right, so it was just so I'm understanding that you were asking her about whether they ever showed her a photo, and she's saying no. And did you just tell me? Okay.
But what I'm telling you is based on what John Allen told me and what I read in Discovery is my understanding of what happened, that they showed her a picture.
So based on what John Allen you read, was your understanding?
That's what John Allen personally told me.
And you don't believe John Allen's lying to you, do you?
No, I don't believe John Allen's lying.
So if John Allen's being truthful, then in fact he showed your daughter a picture of this Zenaida Gonzalez, and she said she didn't recognize her. Is that right, based on your understanding?
That's my understanding.
We just saw your daughter say that they never showed her anything. And that girl that they interviewed down in Kissimmee, this girl here that was interviewed down in Kissimmee, they never showed her a picture of that.
That's what she states,
Okay,
yes.
Do you believe that to be true or not?
I have no idea. I was not in the vehicle with Casey when John Allen showed her.
Well, you just told me a moment ago that you believe John Allen when he said that he showed a picture of Zenaida
You asked
Gonzalez.
me if John Allen would have a reason to lie, and I said, no, I don't believe that John Allen would have a reason to lie.
So assume for me, hypothetically, John Allen's being truthful, and the questions you were asking her were in fact truthful, that you had been told her, it was your understanding there had been a photo lineup. Well, your daughter's saying something quite different there, isn't she?
Yes.
All right, and what she's saying, based on your knowledge of what happened in the investigation, what she's saying is, again, inaccurate.
Well, again, you know what? I don't know that. I wasn't in the car with Casey. She could be telling the truth. John Allen could be lying.
Okay,
I have no idea.
So,
I don't know why he would.
okay. At that point in time, then, who did you think was telling the truth, John Allen or your daughter?
At that point in time, I really didn't know what to believe because at that point in time, I wasn't trusting the sheriff's department.
Okay. So, but you had an understanding, though, because you talked about it, that this person down in Kissimmee had in fact been interviewed. You knew that, right?
Correct.
Okay. As you sit here, this person down in Kissimmee we're talking about, you know that we're talking about Zenaida Gonzalez that is sitting here. Is that right?
I only know that because she interviewed with Channel 6.
I didn't ask why. I just need to know. When you're talking about...
You asked me a question.
You know,
Okay.
let her answer the question. If you ask her too broad of a question, she's going to give you the answer she
Ask
can.
me a yes or no question, and I'll answer yes or no. But if you ask me an open-ended question, I'm going to answer the question.
Fair enough. Let's go back to this statement by your daughter.
Right.
At that point in time, when your daughter said this to you, you're saying you didn't know if it was true or you didn't know it was false, right?
Correct.
All right. And you were, when you went in there, you were going on information from John Allen that you thought to be true at the time.
At the time, John Allen told me that. At the time, I did not read the discovery.
As we sit here now, though, you've read the discovery.
Yes.
And you believe the discovery to be true.
Actually, I don't believe half of the discovery because I
understand.
because there's a lot of typographical errors in the
Right.
discovery. In fact, if you look at page 45 and 49, there's typographical error on the card that she filled out at Sawgrass Apartments.
I'm sure there is. We're going to get to that in a
And
moment.
it's not a
ma'am.
typographical error because someone added a Z to her name after it was picked up from the sheriff's department.
Okay. I'm not talking about typographical errors. I'm talking about what you, ma'am. I didn't ask you. I didn't say
Well,
anything about typographical errors. ma'am.
Gonzalez and Gonzalez is two different names.
Right.
So you're
Ask the
you're
question.
asking me
If
a
you can-
question. If I believe everything that I read in the discovery, I'm answering that question because I'm telling you exactly why I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. I didn't ask the question, and if I did ask
Yeah,
it this
you
way,
did.
ma'am,
You
if I
a-
asked it this way, I apologize. Let me ask it more specifically.
Okay, ask more specific.
The statement made by the police officer, John Allen, that he in fact showed her a picture of Zenaida Gonzalez, and she said she didn't know who it was. You believe that statement to be true?
He told me he pulled
Can
it
you
up
answer
on
me?
the David. I don't know what a David is. I don't know if
Can you
it's a
an- that's
computer
it.
or a picture. A picture is this.
Okay.
So you're asking me
I
a
got it,
question,
it.
yes or no? Clarify it for me.
No, I will
a picture, I don't know.
Sure, I'll clarify it.
I don't know.
You, at this point in time, as we sit here today, ma'am, if I may, please. I'm trying to answer
Don't
these questions.
be condescending to
I'm
me.
trying not to do that either.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. As you sit here today, you've read the discovery, and you've read the part of the discovery, and this is what I'm focusing on, about that he, John Allen, or somebody from the police department showed your daughter a picture of this Zenaida Gonzalez. You understand that? Is that yes or no?
He
you have that
told me-
understanding?
Mike, yes, he
Okay.
said that he showed something with her picture on it.
And you believe that statement that he told you, you believe that to be true?
At the time, I believed it to be true.
Okay. At the time when he told you that, you believed it to be true?
Correct.
Was that before you spoke to her?
Yes.
All right. So you knew something that you believed to be true at that point in time was that this police officer had shown her a photograph of our client, Mr. Morgan's client, and that she had exonerated, said, no, that's not the right person.
Correct.
That was in your mind that that was true.
That's correct.
And when you asked your daughter these questions, it was also in your mind that that was true.
Correct.
Is that correct? So when your daughter tells you that she was never shown a photo lineup on this exact point, do you believe your daughter at that point, or do you believe Detective Allen?
At that point, I can't remember what I believe. At this point, I still don't know what I believe.
Okay, well, what is the truth and what isn't true then, as far as that statement? And this is all I'm talking about. This statement here, that your daughter was shown a photograph of Zenaida Gonzalez, my client, what do you believe to be true? Do you think that happened or not?
My belief has nothing to do with it because I wasn't there.
I understand you weren't there. Do you believe that happened or not?
I have no idea. I really don't know what I believe, and
All
that's
right.
the honest to God's truth.
During this time period here in July, though, when you were speaking with your daughter, you were asking her to relay messages to you, and so you could relay messages through the media, because you were talking to the media at this point. Is that right?
Yes,
All
I
right.
was talking to the media quite a bit
And
to
she-
get Kaylee's picture out there.
And I understand that, and obviously we saw one clip already from Greta Van Susteren, and there were other news organizations too, but it's fair to say, like we have today, there were cameras around you. Is that right?
On which particular day?
Anytime. If you wanted to talk to the media.
I couldn't sneeze without a camera around
I
me, sir.
understand. That's what I'm getting at. So when you were talking to Casey in jail there, earlier in the day, I think you asked her if she had any messages for Zanny. Do you remember that? And she.
I remember at some point whether or not that was that particular one. I don't know.
So it's fair to say that she was giving you the authority to speak for her by passing along messages and
Correct.
stuff. So when you were talking to the media, you were talking on your daughter's behalf for the idea to
Correct.
try to find Kayla. You're speaking for her. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.